Gentlemen, how the fuck could you close a $75,000 contract? Well, it comes down to so many different factors, and in today's sales course, I'm going to be going through every single thing that you would ever need to know in an SMMA AI agency so that you're able to close not necessarily 75K deals, but maybe 10K plus deals, and you start reaching out to further audiences, better quality business owners, bigger companies, multi-million-dollar corporations that you can sell to. Imagine having 3 or 4 different decision makers on the call. Well, don't you fucking worry. I've done that already. I already have videos where I show you I've been on multiple sales calls with many decision makers.
The psychology of the ads, you can go down the wrong sort of path quite quickly. So yeah, for sure, we can definitely help with that. Then with 15,000, we predict between 500 and 700 in the next 3 months total. And then you can see there with 25K, it's 1,000 to 2,000. And the guarantee is 950.
Obviously, they're far and few between, but that's not the point. The point is the sales setup that we use in my agency and also inside of the consulting group we run has been able to get all of these people the results that they genuinely need. And they've all scaled their company. They're buying the watches they want. They're traveling around the world. They're buying the MacBooks. And do you know what's so interesting? You potentially want to be in that position, but you haven't quite pieced everything together. Maybe you're just trying to close 2K deals. Maybe you're trying to get a 5K PIF up front and a pay-per-shown appointment on top. Whatever it is you're trying to do, don't you fucking worry. You have to ask yourself, when was the last time I closed the amount that I genuinely wanted to? Not a drop sell, not a down sell, not a half-assed pitch where, you know, you've got to give them a cheap offer or a better guarantee or a refund guarantee. Well, no, don't you worry, because we're going to fix that for you. I'm going to give you the exact sequence that turned my calendar from 2.5K retainers into 75K contracts, and you can write everything down, ladies and gentlemen, step by step, because this enables me to travel around the world, drive nice cars, sit on a balcony with my laptop, look at a beautiful nighttime skyrise, look at Ferraris, look at the beautiful sunrise out of my big fucking skyscraper building. This shit's so nice. This was in Malaysia, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. I worked until about 6 a.m. in the morning. Obviously because of US time hours, and this was the view I got to finish my day looking at. It's the sunrise over the city. Most beautiful things that you genuinely could put, like, you can't put a price tag on that shit. And it all comes from the ability to actually sell. If you can sell, doesn't matter what you're selling, you'll be able to make so much money and travel the world and do whatever you want to do. The first point I'd like to make to people is to stop closing for pennies. I just got to check this notification here. Yeah, no problem. Basically, these small deals just don't pay enough. They're not going to help you scale your business. Smaller deals where you're just accepting them for a $500 setup fee. Why not a $750? Why not a 1K setup fee? Why not a 2K setup fee on top of your pay-per-shot appointment model or whatever you're doing? You need to rewire your brain to believe that that's normal and target higher up the food chain, because most people watching right now stop closing clients for 1K, $500, things like that. And this is the trap nobody really talks about. Closing small deals doesn't pay less. It rewires your brain to believe that big deals are not for you. And that belief is the reason why it's so much harder to scale your company. You need fewer clients, but then paying more. Now, what do you really want? 30 clients or 1 client? Because the same 1 client you get can replace those 30 clients, right? Lay it out in front of yourself and think to yourself, what do you want? Do you want all these clients, this huge volume of clients, but the quality isn't so good? Or would you rather actually have a fewer number of people to work with, but you deliver to those people so well and you focus so hard on their company, almost like a growth partner? Which is the smartest gameplay for you? Because to be honest, I think the answer is obvious. I want to work with him. I don't want to work with these guys. So consider targeting a different market where you can target higher up the food chain to business owners like this, where the TAM, the total addressable market, is high. Moving on, this is the close stack that we need to know. It's 10 layers: internal state, North Star, the dig, KYC, pre-handle, pitch yourself first, the pitch stack, read the room, temp test, and assumptive close. And then after that, this is what most of you actually came for, is the objection handling module, which I'm going to go through at the end of this video as well, actually kind of in the middle of the video. And then after, I'm going to go through 6 role plays word for word, exactly how I would disarm objections, handle them, and overcome them. Boys, if you've ever been on a call and thought my offer was good, and then they just still don't fucking buy, this video will fix it. You ever been on a call and they, like, you're selling the best fucking thing in the world and they just don't buy, and you're thinking, why? It doesn't make sense. It's probably something that you did wrong in the sales process. Michael, let's meet him. Fine gentleman. $40 million in home services, 4 locations, 60 crews, 1 competitor eating his lunch. Let me introduce you to him, right? He runs a fucking massive company out in the Midwest. He got on my calendar because a competitor had scaled with us. So we literally have one of his competitors on my calendar. I've already worked with him, made him a shitload of money, and he saw that and he's like, nah, fuck this. I need to figure something else out. Michael is the exact profile you should be attempting to sell to close high-ticket deals. He's not window shopping. He has a budget. He's in the decision-making seat, and he is just overall going to have a shitload more money to spend. So you can then value stack heavily and sell them at a higher rate. Let's talk about Sleepy Sid versus Sharp Closer. This moves into one of my first sections, which is the internal state. Enterprise buyers smell low energy through the fucking screen. So fix your biology before the pitch. So for example, look at me right now. I'm playing audio in my ears that causes neurophase locking technology. My brain is now fully focused and in flow state, hence why I can speak so fast and rattle off so much value in such a short space of time. Now, if you can do the same thing on sales calls, you'll be able to just flow and say what you need to say and direct the call where it needs to be. They can sense that control and leadership you have over the call, and they like to think this feeling of security will be provided by you when you look after their business as well. So let me ask the viewer this, right? Do you know who this is? Probably don't. Well, Sleepy Sid, he's a strange little shit because he slumps in his chair. Here he is, Mr. Sid. This is our sharp closer over here. This is who you need to be, my friend. The majority of people is Sid. Voice is flat, no fucking kick behind it, and he operates his entire fucking life at about 30% capacity. If you meet the sharp closer, 20 minutes of exercise that morning, he did his run, his cold shower, his walk, he's hydrated, his brain switched on, he's neurophase locking. He's doing all of these optimized ability, like any fitness things, anything for his body and brain, so that he can show up to that call locked in. And if you go and try and sell a 75K deal and you don't have a locked in state, like the video you'll watch of me closing a high deal, that's literally done, I think at 3 a.m. in the morning, my local time. I was tired, bro, but I still knew how to lock in because I had the neurophase locking technologies. I had other things that will help me lock in. Now, I study human performance and limitation, that's HPNL, in flight school, studied as a commercial airline pilot. Human performance and limitations has trained me so many different things that is genuinely important. I teach it in my school course, as you can see, amongst many other modules and things we teach. But everything we were doing, when we were flying planes, the oxygen level was slightly lower at altitude. And imagine flying one of these propeller planes. There's loads of other things that you need to be able to do to avoid crashing into little planes flying around you, because air traffic control won't actually give you a traffic service a lot of the time. So a lot of the time it's up to you to scan for traffic and not hit another fucking plane. So I trained many hours of flying planes to learn how to do this. I understood human performance, sleep debt, sleep architecture, focus flow states, because it's literally critical to our fucking survival. I'm also going to talk about my boxing as well. That will also help the viewer comprehend everything to do with sales, because this shit links. Layer number 2 is the North Star. In my opinion, I train my sales staff that the most important thing in their entire sales call is the North Star of the call. It always was, gentlemen, right? This is the direction that you take the call. If you go the wrong way, you'll crash into the rocks. Curiosity aside, what brought you on this call today? Why are we here? Curiosity aside, not because we want the lazy answer, just curious. I want to hear the reason, right? And this is the point, right? You can't just fucking jump on a boat and the captain goes, right, I'm just going to go this way. He'll get lost at sea, shit himself, and end up in the wrong country. He plots the damn course before he actually leaves the docks. That's what you're doing in your discovery section of the call, that North Star, where you're trying to figure out where people are at. If you don't understand their reason, either because it's suffering, or it might be there's a dream outcome they're trying to achieve, or both, or it could just be pure curiosity. You don't know which angle to take to attack. You'll ask the wrong questions. You'll take them down the wrong route. You need to find out, are they bleeding? Are they going up in life? Do they need help delegating? What is their actual reason? Some of them don't need more jobs. Some of them need more stability and predictability. They hate this rat race, up and down, up and down, up and down. Some of them have this competitor in mind that they want to beat. You have to find that out, because that will allow you to discover, right, hang on, what do I pitch this guy? Another thing I want to tell you is get the fucking shovel out. This is what I call the what, when, why, how. All of my sales staff are trained in the discovery section of the call. Let me ask you this, right? To fucking dig. And do you do it? No, you probably don't. You probably don't. You, I guarantee you, Mr. Viewer, have gotten to a certain stage in your sales call where you're like, fuck, what do I say now? My go-to strategy is the what, when, why, how. Yeah, we worked with Angie's 2 years back and it was shit. What do you mean? Oh, it was just the leads wouldn't pick up. Wow, dude. And when was this? Oh, it was like 2 years ago. Shit. And how long were you guys actually working with them for? Ah, cool. And like, why do you think that actually happened? Why did they get you shit results? What was going wrong on their end? Do you know? No, we don't know. That's crazy. How do you think they can get away with that? I don't know, man. It's crazy. They got no accountability, blah, blah, blah. There you go. Now I'm gathering more from it. It's flowing, right? You don't want these vague answers, I want another way to grow. No, you want to get more from them. What have you tried? Why did you try it? What made you actually want to work with them? Why has it been 3 months since you tried something else with another lead generation company? Get out that shovel and keep digging, because eventually you'll hit this golden point. I say to my staff not to stop your discovery or your question asking until you genuinely have that one piece of information that makes your brain go, I've got it. I know why he's here, right? This is the KYC. It's called Know Your Customer. It's basically the discovery section of the call. Efficiency beats intensity in boxing and in sales. Smooth is powerful, right? If you splatter them with loads of information in a 30-minute discovery and bore the shit out of them, they'll think, why is he asking me all this? But if you ask them good quality questions that are in line with what you're trying to do, it will make sense to them. They'll be like, yes, this is good. You don't want to ask 47 mediocre questions. Ask 4 quality questions. So here's me boxing, right? Every single time we were boxing, smooth is powerful. You move with your weight, right? You move with your weight and you throw the punch from the hips. Smooth is powerful. You can see I'm about to throw that fucking right hook right to the head because his hand's down. And you can see me doing it here. Smooth is powerful. Letting the fucking power flow through your entire body is what you need to do. And that's the point. It's efficient. My biggest problem in boxing is that I ended up getting tired generally by the 3rd or 4th round, which is quite normal. And I learned it's because I'm tensing my muscles really hard. Like, for example, look here. I'm fucking tensing the shit out of my arms. By the way, this was like one of my first few fights. This was probably, I think, my 4th fight. So this was like number 1. And you can see here, look how tight I am. Tense as my muscles were all squeezed. And in this fight, I fucking tired really quickly. In this one, I lasted way longer. We got all the way to the end of the fight to decision, which was perfect. That's kind of what I wanted to do. And you can see, look how relaxed the arms are. The legs are well spaced apart instead of tight together. And because it flowed so much more, my fighting ability was much better. Punch speed was better. And that's the point of the KYC, the discovery section of the call, is let it flow. Be efficient with what you're saying. Don't try and rush it. Don't try and really tense up and like get as much from them as possible. Relax and see where the conversation takes you. Use your curiosity brain. Sit in front of your friend at a coffee shop and ask them, hey bro, like, why'd you work with Angie's? Like, did you not know their shit? And they just laugh. You know what I mean? Like, take the conversation in directions that they're not usually used to it going, because other salespeople are just trained to be salespeople. Next thing I want to talk about, I disagree with objection handling a little bit, right? I think it's a bit shit, because you can't really save it with objection handling. Sometimes you can. It just sounds cool. With pre-handling, it's one of the most important things because it kills 80% of your objections before the prospect even knows what they're going to say, right? Think about this for a second. If you've been to airport security, this is Terminal 5, Heathrow Terminal 5. I've flown out of this terminal so many times. As you guys know, I travel the world. I travel a lot through these terminals. Look how fucking busy it is. You see all these people here? Do you know what the threat is? Do you know what the danger, the security risk would be for all of these people here if they just let people through security when they were boarding the plane? No, they got to do it before they even get into the terminal, of course, for protection reasons. So why are you not doing the same? I need to ask you this. When was the last time you were in an airport? And does security protect you before you even get in the airport? Of course it does. It doesn't let you through to the main terminal area where there's loads of other people. Now imagine they did it after the person boarded. They're already on the plane. That wouldn't make any fucking sense, right? You didn't disarm someone after you realized they had a weapon. You do it before they have the fucking weapon out. That's what you got to do. It's normal. It makes logical sense. But let me ask you this. Why are you so conditioned that you've genuinely forgotten to do that? Objection handling is the most shiny object thing that you've ever seen in sales. So it makes you forget about pre-handling. It is the most important training you can provide yourself, is pre-handling it. And let me show you this. Here's how it goes. Hey, Michael, before we jump into the pitch, you probably had a million of these calls before. You've also probably had a load of other people who have come to your business. They wanted a roof done, but they told you they want to think about it, dance on it, sleep on it, speak to their dog, their cat, their wall, get back to you next month. You know all that's just trash, right? It's all rubbish. It's just people dodging the bullet, right? You get that, right? We're both business owners. Good. Well, to be honest, man, if you could just like give me a straight answer at the end of the call, and genuinely I don't actually mind, as long as you just tell me yes, no, maybe, I like it, I don't like it, whatever specifically you want to tell me, like, I really don't mind. I just need a clear answer from you, bro. Is that okay? Yeah, all good, Jack. No problem, man. I'll do the same for you. Well, that's exactly it. Now it's pre-handled. I've made a joke out of him saying, I'm going to speak to my wife. No, I've made a joke out of it. I'll say something like, oh, you want to speak to your wife? You've probably heard it before, speak to your wife. It's like, and do you wear the dress in the family too? It's all this crazy shit. Speak to the dog, the wall. Like, you're not going to go away and think about it and stare at a wall, are you? No, it's just not how it goes. It's just bullshit. You know what I mean? And I say this to them and I make them agree with it. It's very subtle too. It's not very salesy. Instead of, give me an answer, yes or no. It's very relaxed. Another thing, pitch yourself first. Now we're moving to the next layer of the call. This is all in chronological order. This is the pitch. This is where we start to begin to build their trust and make them want to buy from us. Right? At 75K, they're not buying the offer, they're buying you. So many people disagree with this, but I genuinely believe that in sales, it's a people game. You have to make the person buy you, not the system. Every salesperson, some of my best salespeople, they say, is it you I'm going to speak to after this? Is it you? Will you be looking after me after this? And we still do let the salespeople speak to them every month just to keep them happy and retain and make them feel comfortable because they build that rapport. So imagine you're at the doctor, something's totally wrong with you, and the doctor's on his computer typing. Yeah, Would you feel good? No, you wouldn't. So imagine the same doctor sits across you, closes the laptops, looks at you, and literally asks you questions. Now you feel safe. Now you feel like you're going to get a good answer from him. And when people make a 75K decision, they do need to feel that safety, right? They need to feel like you genuinely care and you're looking to give them a proper solution. They need to see that you not only care, but also the incentives are aligned. Because if your incentives are equal to their incentives, they understand that you probably won't fuck them over. Because if you do, it de-incentivizes you. Hey, Michael, before I just want to jump into things, it doesn't really matter when I'm going to pitch you, as long as you believe in like what I'm going to be doing. You know, if you believe in me, you'll believe in the pitch. If you don't believe in me, you won't believe in the pitch. It makes no difference, right? So let me just tell you a quick bit about my story and who I am, and walk them through your journey, man. Walk them through your story. Who are you? Who are you, and why are you going to look after them and do a better job than other people? Next thing is the pitch stack. So you need to have a good structure to your pitch. And if you get it wrong, it just makes everything so much harder. And I see a lot of my mentees in the group, bearing in mind we have 150 mentees, all over 10K a month at this point, which is actually insane. And if you do want to join a part, you can see the link below, JTM Empire. And we literally train everyone. We've got a done for you offer and a done with you offer. Now, I train them all the time. Pitch yourself, pitch the social proof first. And they all forget. They all forget. So social proof is so important to pitch first. Then pain acknowledgement, so basically a recap. Give them the solution to their pain, so you're kind of like bridging the gap there. Give them your unique mechanism to make them go, do you know what? That makes logical sense. I believe he'll be able to achieve it, because the perceived likelihood of achievement is so important. Then provide them solution proof once again to seal it up. Reinstate the pain with an assumptive close, temp test, pitch the price. So you basically close on the pitch. You got to close on the pitch first. Then you close on the fucking price. Then you future pace. You don't ask for the money, just after price. Future pace them. Tell them the journey so they feel so comfortable giving you that money. A lot of people go, so the price is 2.5K. And then they say, so what would you like to do from here? It's like, holy shit. If you drop a bomb on their shoulders and then go, hey mate, decision time, they'll run away from it. If you say 2.5K, and David, I'll give you 2 seconds to think about that, and then I'll continue explaining what's going to happen from here. So let me know when you're ready. Give them a few minutes to digest it. Go quiet, go make a coffee. I'll say, and I'll just leave you to think on that for a couple seconds. I'm going to go grab a glass of water and I'll walk back to the computer. And they can sit there in silence and think. That's a great psychological tactic. It really is. The other thing we use with all of my mentees, I give them a custom pitch deck. You can see it's interactive. They can click through all these modules. They can explain their pitch. They can literally show it on screen, because the visual pitch really helps them imagine what's going to happen. Now let's do layer 8, which is read the room. If a prospect has his folded arms, it's a fucking concern. Micro expressions, tonality, looking away, looking at different screens. I've seen all of this from business partners. When I'm on a call, imagine this is me here, and then we've got 1, 2, probably 3 different decision makers on the call, like you'll see in my previous video. I've got to watch all their behavioral expressions. So you know how Google Meets, you can just kind of pop out the cameras on the right-hand side of your screen while you're pitching? That's what I do. And I like to watch expressions as I speak. And if I spot his expressions poor, his is good, I'll go to him first. I'll say, hey, David, how you feeling about all this, man? Yeah, I'm feeling okay about it. You know, and dig a little bit more into it. And then with these 2 guys, hey, how are you guys feeling about it? You guys happy with it? You know, you've got to go through individual people so that you can feel out where they're at. Because a lot of the time I've found, especially when you're pitching multi-decision makers, is even one bad apple will spoil the bunch. If you have one bad apple on that sales call and you can't correct it, you're going to struggle to close it. And that's why pitching multi-decision makers is actually quite difficult. But if you're going to pitch 75K deals, it's going to be upmarket. It's going to be to financially like large companies, peptide clinics, stem cell clinics, financial advisors, insurance, mortgage companies, real estate brokerages, things like that. Not necessarily the agents, by the way, they're quite broke. 1 to 10, where are we? So this is what we call the temp test. When we come into land on a plane, right? These are called the Vasi lights. Pappy lights are lined up in rows of 4, but these are called Vasi lights. If they show 3 whites 3 reds, you're perfect. You're at the right height to land. If you're more whites than you are reds, you're too high. More reds than you are white, you're too low. Okay, this is a 737-800 cockpit. He's obviously too low, but it's just a sketch image. These would be to the 2 touchdown markers. These are called the piano tiles, which is signaling the start of the runway. You want to aim for these touchdown points. We have something called minimums, which is usually about 350 feet above the runway. And if we are not stabilized by 350 feet as an airliner, we would go around. We call it a go around procedure. We'd press the toga button, take off, go around button, which basically means we go back up in the air and we reattempt the landing. You've got to do the same in sales, because if you can tell the temperature isn't quite warm enough, you can't land the plane, you will crash it. It will be a hard landing. It will be a dangerous landing, right? 65% of your close comes from circling around until they're just warm enough, perfect and nice and stable to land on that runway. And that's where you make a safe landing. So make sure you temp test. Hey, where are you guys at on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being this is dog shit, 10 being this is perfect. Where would you say you fall? I think we're all at a 9. Cool. Well, 9's pretty damn good. Do you mind me asking, why'd you say 9 and not like 8, 7, or 6? Well, we like this, this, and this. And so, like, what would make it a 10 for you guys other than price? Well, nothing really, just the price. Perfect. Let's move on. You want to find what they like and what they don't like. Then we provide an assumptive close. The reason we do an assumptive close is because we want to hold a status frame that we don't need to ask for money, that we assume they already want to work with us, right? So the waiter never asks you if you'd like to eat. You shut up at a restaurant to eat. They go, so what would you like to eat? So which option would you prefer? Option A, the deposit, and option B, the full pay in full? We'll go with the pay in full. Good. So I'll send you the link here. We'll process this initial investment, and I will approve it on my side here in 30 seconds' time. I always tell them that. I don't say, here's the link, because they'll go, cheers, Jack, see you tomorrow, and fuck off the call with the link. And then I say, oh yeah, I've got to approve it for security reasons. We have very tight security with our payment processor. We like to hold very high standards. So for that reason, I like to approve it on my side manually. That's what we do. It's very clever. It's a great assumptive close too. Anyway, let's move on from that point, because I want you to imagine you're a 5-star luxury restaurant, a Michelin star restaurant. I've only been to a few in my lifetime, and the service is phenomenal. And they really do help you with the menu. They help you pick. They give you suggestions. And then they just assume you're going to buy. You don't show up to a Michelin star restaurant, take a seat at their table to go, do you know what? Yeah, I'll come back tomorrow. The menu's not good enough. It's like, if you know your menu's good enough and you've set the scene well enough and they believe you are who you say you are, you're that 5-star restaurant, then they will fall into the frame. The waiter points at the menu and they buy. And that's who you need to be. Now let's look at some objection frameworks, because I know a lot of people are very curious about this. We have to do it in a certain method, and if you get it wrong or you miss the disarm or you miss the clarify, you'll fuck it all up. You have to go through the disarm, clarify, isolate, and handle procedure, right? And the way this looks at is disarm as you take the sting out of it. No defensiveness. Hey, Jack, honestly, man, I think we'll just take a couple of days and get back to you. Bro, honestly, no stress. It's totally fine. And you guys want to take, how long? 2-3 days? Yeah, just a couple of days. Okay. And what's that? Just to think about it? Again, I'm parroting it back to them, what they said to me, to get more from them. Isolate. And so when you say you want to take some time to think about it, what specifically is coming up there for you? Is it down to our investment? Is it down to trust? Or is it down to any other concerns? Just so I can kind of send you over some materials that might help. You hear that? So I can send you over materials. I'm kind of like, dude, I'm going to send you some stuff over. I'm pretending I'm not pushing them to the close. Isolate. That's what I'm doing there. Yeah, well, it's kind of probably going to be the investment. We just want to make sure we have the money. Yes, totally understandable. It makes loads of sense. And let's look at that for a moment. When it comes to the investment, is it more that you are concerned you physically don't have that cash? Or is it more you're a little bit worried about investing it and not seeing the return quick enough? Yeah, we're probably just a bit worried about, obviously the investment and getting the results quickly. And I'll say to them, listen, that's totally understandable. What specifically have we gone over today that maybe makes you worried about not getting the results that our other 150 contractors have achieved? Maybe we can circle back over that and I can help explain it. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Pick apart what their objection is. Disarm them. Take them through that process. If you skip the disarm, you look desperate. You just let it flow. Anyway, we're going to go over this a little bit. I need to think about it. This is a smoke screen. It's obviously going to be trust or money. The way I like to handle a brutal think about it would be, they say, hey, Jack, I want to think about it. You want to think about it? Yeah, I just want to take a couple of days. Yeah, to be honest, man, I could give you 2 weeks. I'd give you 2 years, but obviously you told me it's really important that we make a change for your business. And I'll be honest, bro, like when people say think about it, they usually just don't trust me, or they just are a bit concerned about spending the money. I'm just wondering which one it is for you, brother. And be honest with me, like I really don't mind. You hear that tone shift, curious and calm. Then they're going to say something along the lines of, oh yeah, well it was money, it was this or that. And now you've got your objection to actually handle. I need to speak to my partner. And I'll just totally I would like fuck them over on this one. Everyone struggles with partner objections. Here's what I do, right? I'd say to them, oh yeah, dude, honestly, do you know what's crazy? I used to have a partner called XYZ. And bro, if I had to buy a fucking stapler, I need his permission. Like, it's just crazy, isn't it? And then there was one day where I said to him, I'm like, dude, listen, you're just going to have to trust me to make decisions. I can't be slowing down all of our decisions just because I got to ask you to buy a fucking stapler. You know what I mean? And I know that this investment, Mr. Customer, is obviously more than a fucking stapler, but it follows the same process. You know, I'm sure your business partner trusts you to make good decisions in the business. And because at the start of the call, you did say you manage the marketing. A lot of the time, people just push this decision off to someone else to make it because they don't want to really make it themselves. And I'm just worried we're doing that right now. So talk to me. If you made this decision today to get more jobs for your business, is your partner really going to scream at you and be mad? Like, if someone came to me, my partner came to me and he said, buddy, I've got another marketing company who's going to bring us some jobs. I go, yeah, fucking good on you, mate. Well done. That's productive. Is he going to say anything negative to you? No, well, blah, blah, blah. And they usually come up with another excuse. And I'm like, so let me ask you this. What's going to happen if you speak to your partner and he says, fuck no? Nope. Because he hasn't got the information you have. He's not been on this call with us. Out of the two of you, who do you think has more information to make a good decision here? Is it you or him? It's you. It's me. Of course it is, brother. So then, do you think it's really a smart decision to shove this information on his desk and say, so, what's the plan, buddy? Or do you think it's better for us to make an informed decision now? Slow and steady decision. We'll kind of recap everything right now and see if this is a good fit for you to move forward. Let's spend the next 2 minutes doing that. Or if he brings it up and goes, I've got to really talk to him. So is that a permission thing, or is that you just check in with him to make sure he's happy with it? Oh, it's more of a permission thing. Cool. So like you fully can't make this decision without him. No, it makes sense, dude. Well, listen, this is what I always do because sometimes people do just lie to me. And I'll know if you're committed by just putting down a simple $200, $250 refundable deposit. Otherwise, I do just kind of remove people off my system and I don't do follow-ups because we'll just be too busy with the number of applicants we have for your area. So if you're okay with that, we'll process a $250 refundable deposit to hold your spot. And then in 2 days' time, when we schedule that follow-up call with both of you, we can obviously refund it if you don't want to do it, or we keep it and we just put it towards your first payment anyway. And if they don't do that, you know they're not serious. Let's move over to this next one, which is I want to speak to my wife. Fucking hell. I hate this one. Happy wife, happy life. I would make it like logically ridiculous because it genuinely is ridiculous. Jack, this sounds good, brother, but I just want to speak to my wife. And I'll be like, okay, got you. And let me ask you this, like, what sort of involvement does your wife have within the business? Not much, but I always just run it by her. I'm like, yeah, brother, that's totally understandable, and I'm not going to pull you away from that whatsoever. I just want to sort of understand your logic behind that. When it comes to speaking to your wife, like, is it because you're looking for, I guess, her opinion on making the decision? Or are you looking for permission? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a very like an ego play. Oh, it's not for permission. It's just because I want to run it by her. And I'll say to them, listen, like, you know, when we make this decision, because your wife's not been on this call and you said at the start of the call, you know, she's not actually directly involved in the business's marketing operations. Who do you think has the best ability to make a good decision here? Is it going to be you or the wife? Well, it's going to be me, of course. So then do you think it's really fair for us to just shove that decision on your wife's shoulders and say, hey, what should I do? Or do you think she'd appreciate it more if we just made this decision here and now? We took a decisive action to scale the business, and you could come to her and say, hey, listen, I found a good company we're going to work with and we're going to scale the company. How do you think she'd feel if you just came to her with that decision already made? Would she feel better, or would she feel better if you just dumped it all on her shoulders and said, hey, what are we doing? Because like I don't ask my wife to make decisions. When I run this company, I wouldn't go to her and say, hey, can we double our ad spend and spend 10 grand a day on ads? Because that's what we spend, Mr. Contractor. And like, if I had to ask her to make decisions, my business wouldn't grow. Again, I've just called them out for it. It's a bit brutal, but it's just a dumb objection. You've got to bring it up. Next one is trust. How do I know you won't vanish? And I'll say to him, hey, good question. And I mean, let's say you paid me the 2.5K. I ran off to the Bahamas. That would last me maybe 2 weeks with a decent Airbnb, maybe some drinks. But then again, I've got to pay my 75 staff and shit spread amongst all of them. That's what, an ice cream each? Like, I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Contractor. Your 2.5K is not going to do too much for me. I spend about 2.5K per day on ads. Like, that will be drained in seconds. So running off with your money is not going to help me grow my business. Retaining you and getting a lifetime value of 30K plus, that's what I care about. I got to sell my business. I got to look after my family like you do. I don't have time to do this dumb shit of vanishing. Like, it's not going to help my reputation. Then the next one is give me 2 weeks. Similar to the other one. I'll say to him, hey, brother, like, I could give you 2 months. I could give you 2 years. We could talk next Christmas, to be honest. But what's going to change in between now and then that will benefit your company other than lost time? Well, I just want to make sure we're making a good decision, not rush into things. I don't like to make decisions too fast. And I'll say, that's actually so interesting, dude. Like, what specifically makes you take all this time to make decisions? Like, why 2 weeks in particular? Why have you said that number? Well, it's just, we made bad decisions in the past and we don't like to rush these type of things. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Let's imagine I get on a call with XYZ contractor. I'll always do research on the competitor's name, like just after this. And he decided he likes to make decisions quickly. And he signed up with us. Who do you think has the highest chance of success? Is it the person that makes decisions quickly in business or the person who takes their sweet time? Who does it? Who scales quicker? Because if you stand there at a dartboard and never throw the dart, you won't know how to adjust your shot. Imagine you were a sniper, Mr. Contractor, and you were aiming down the scope and you found your angle and the car was moving and you have to aim and shoot. You have 3 seconds before they hit the tunnel and you go, I'm going to wait. And you missed the shot. Do you think you'll ever get to take that shot again? Of course not. So being slow in business only means you miss that shot and you never threw a shot on the target. Do you think that that's going to get you to that 2 million a year that you told me you wanted to achieve? Or is it only going to take us longer to get to that point? See what I mean? So I'm placing them in that frame. 75K is a lot. Yeah, for sure. And when you say it's a lot of money, does that come down to the value that I'm delivering or just the concern of spending all of that money and worried about not getting the results? It's not the value, Jack. I believe in everything you're doing. It's more like I'm just worried about getting results. So it's more of a trust thing, right? Well, not necessarily a trust thing, brother. I'm just worried we won't get the results. Everyone's kind of sold us the same thing. I'll say to them this, like, let's imagine you spend the 75K. Your average client is worth how much? I know already. I'm just getting to resay it. 150. So in the next 3 months, do you think it's quite likely that even if I was a shit marketer, I could get you at least one client in 90 days? One out of those 90 days was a land, and we nailed it. Yeah, I mean, anyone could do that, right? My grandma could probably fucking do that. Like my cat, my dog. I bet you he could fucking handle that. Ha ha ha. Everyone's laughing, it's disarmed. Then I go into the process of handling it directly. Okay, cool. So then, realistically, there isn't any risk here because the maths checks out. It makes total sense for you to invest 75K. At the minimum, you'll walk away with 150. At best, you'll walk away with $1 million in deals. So tell me, do you think it's more risky to invest this money for the chance to make 150 or to not invest it at all and have no chance of making that 150 or that $1 million back? See what I mean? So it reframing the anchor totally. Small ticket sells the big fucking offer. Okay? So let's talk about this for a second. You can do two things. You can go with a small ticket package and upsell to a high ticket package, which is really easy to do. To be honest, that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. What we used to do is we do a large ticket and then we would upsell to like multi-large tickets. We just add in other services, large plus, whatever you want to call it. But the difference between the two is that you're selling an offer for the first one, and then for the second one, you're selling you. A 3K buyer justifies the offer. 75K buyer is deciding if you are the right person to hand 75K to. So that's why when I'm selling high ticket deals, I talk a lot about myself and my story. Flight school, working with one of the larger marketing companies in the UK, working with all these businesses, all of my track record. I have screenshots, I have images of me working, managing teams, doing all this stuff. I would never bother showing someone that to sell them 3K. I just don't give a fuck. If they don't believe me for 3K, fuck them. I don't give a shit. 75K, brother, what do you want to know? Shoe size, inside leg seam, waist size, I don't care. Like, I'll tell you what you need to know to give me that money. Otherwise, it's not worth me sharing private details. But in this type of sale, you have to because it's about you. It's about proving yourself to the business owner. A little contractor making 50K per month, he'll read the fine print and he'll go, all right, this contract looks okay. With this guy, he wants to read a book and know your story to spend 500K per year with you. He wants to know who the fuck you are so that he knows the type of guy he's getting into business with. Now, we're 22 minutes in. We've done all the processes. And Mr. Michael, we saw at the start, he signed that 75K deal. He onboarded them 48 hours later, so there's no buyer's remorse. And he got them the results. And that is the whole point of this video. Contract signed, move on, and do more of what you fucking love doing, which is AI agency and SMMA scaling. Boys, if you want to travel the world and get access to all this information that helped my guys in the group scale, as well as done-for-you marketing, bearing in mind, I literally come into your business with my team. I give you a media buyer. I give you salespeople. I scale your ads. I make your B2B ads. I make your B2C ads. Even as low as $10 per day is all you need to work with me so that you can meet up with me in person, rip some nice cars, drive around, fucking do whatever you want to do, and make a lot of money and do some good work. Gentlemen, pleasure. I'll leave it in your hands. Take care.